Wait, welcome back to Off the Rack Rebellion, the podcast where we talk about costuming and how to take everyday finds and incorporate them into your everyday cosplay. Kate, how's it
Yes.
going?
Hello, Billy. Doing well. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. What are we talking about today? Just a loosey goosey chat, right?
It's just our kind of check-in about what we're doing, where we're at. We're about to take a little bit of a summer break
Right.
from the podcast for a few weeks before we get back into that final arc of Andor.
Yeah.
Because there's still so much to talk about in that show.
Well, we're halfway through, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That seems like a good place to
yeah,
to pause
yeah,
for now,
totally.
right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. But then, it's summer here in the States. My kids are actually, the day that we're recording, my kids have 5 days left of school. And then it's like, man, we're in summer break and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So, but with that comes, I feel like it's kind of been a little pause after May for me to just like try to catch up on life for June. And then it's like diving back into, okay, let's start working on some stuff again.
Okay.
All that
Yeah.
good stuff. Yeah. Like, how about yourself? Are you like, do you have kind of like seasons like that where it's like, okay,
I
I work, and I pause on stuff?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I think sometimes I don't know when it is, but I always
Yeah.
try to ride the wave of
Yeah.
of productivity and inspiration
Mhm.
when it comes. I do have like my seasons. Obviously, but when it gets cold, I can't paint anything. So
Yeah.
now it's blaster
If you're, yep,
season. It's
you're
like
doing it. Yeah, totally. And I'm
I've
like, oh
got
my gosh, I got to get on.
3 blasters that I've got to do that I want
Oh,
to do. Yeah.
wow. Wow.
So
That's a lot,
so that's a
quite the
lot of
arsenal.
that's a lot of firepower.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to get some painting done. Yeah,
Nice. Okay,
some spray
cool.
ups and stuff. At least to the point where I can then bring them inside and work on them here.
Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like Seattle's spray season. So there's this kind of anecdote in Seattle is that summer starts after 4th of July because it's still like we
Mhm.
had like heat advisory last week because it was in the upper 80s, which is unheard of. And then,
Oh wow.
I did my son's field day at his school for like the outdoor games in a park and it was freezing in like sweatpants and a sweatshirt, because it was
Yeah.
like, because we just had this weather rolling off the Pacific again. So it's,
Sure.
it's damp and cold again for a few days. So I'm like, okay, I've got to get a list of like what I want to spray because I'm always
Yeah.
going through my stuff and then being like, oh yeah, I had that thing and I was actually gonna try and paint it. But like
Yeah.
once July hits, man, I gotta get on it.
Yeah. I think it's always good to like to get the stuff that you have and do it in batches. Like I
That's
like
a good
working
idea.
in batches. That way I
Yeah,
can get all of the primer down
yeah,
in one afternoon,
yeah, totally. I
And
need to get
then
that adhesion spray that Raimi was telling me about too for like doing
yes.
plastics because I always
Yeah.
forget about that layer and I'm like, oh,
Any
that
kind
thing
of
yeah.
molded and extruded
Mhm.
plastics should yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
try
Those
that.
sort of industrial sort of heat process like
Okay.
extrusion and mold
Okay.
plastics, which are like
Cool.
Nerf guns are
Yeah,
made of,
well, because
right?
I was gonna say I found a scope, like a Nerf scope at
Yeah.
Goodwill like a year ago, and it's
Yeah.
not terrible. It's like white and orange, but I'm like, this could be amped up, and then I could use it
Oh
as
yeah.
like, as like a spotting scope,
Oh
just
yeah, yeah,
even
yeah.
independent of the blaster.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh man, I really want to start using that as a prop. So I think I need to spray that this
Yeah.
summer. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's on my list of like, need to make that happen. And then my dear friend Ian Grayson has decided to pull me into the Droidsmith Union as well. And I'm like, what are you
Okay.
doing adding things to my to-do list? I love it. Yes, I'm doing it. So I'm like,
Do you
because
have your number yet?
no, I don't actually. The funny thing is my kid has a number. I like
Okay.
when like 2 years ago, I was like, oh, droid says he loves droids. The kid has 3 or 4 droids
Yeah.
already, right? And he used to identify as a droid. And so I got him a number and I was gonna put together I had a jumpsuit and everything and he outgrew it because they grow so
Yeah.
fast. And I was like, all right, I'll hold off on his. But so funny thing is he actually is in their system. He's not, like so there's like
Sure.
a step to like you can like apply and
Mhm.
get your number, but you're not quite approved yet, right? You have to like
Right. Because
there's
they
a
just
approval
got
process because they
their
just yeah.
Lucasfilm
Yeah. So he has a
culture.
number, but I'm like, I don't know if he'll ever be approved. But it's like, oh
You're
well,
registered. He's a
yeah, you're
registered droidsmith.
registered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have my
totally.
number, but I
Oh, you
haven't
got your
like
number too. Okay,
approved it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, all right, I never even thought about it, but now I'm like, all right, because I did pick up. last year, it was on May the 4th or around May the 4th, I had stopped into our Goodwill and there was a Dio still in the box
Yeah.
for like less than $10. And I was like, yeah,
Gotta
I'm
do it.
grabbing this. And so he's mine because my son already has his own.
Yeah.
We both have Lola droids. Actually, he has two Lola droids. We both have Lola droids. He has an R2. He has a Dio. And I was like, okay, this Dio's mine, but I'm gonna paint it. And then when Ian's like, hey, you should jump on this, I was like, I shouldn't I? I don't want to miss out, right? But then I was like, okay, all right, that's gonna take a lot of work for me to spray something because I don't usually do that kind of stuff. So that'll be like kind of like we'll see how that goes. But my Mando look that I
Yeah.
got to wear finally to space dive, upon wearing it, because Ian had also asked me like, hey, give me a recap. Like, what did you think? Like, what worked, what didn't? What are you thinking? I'm like, I think she needs shin guards
Okay.
because she's this herbalist and she's this like she goes out to to gather things and to search for samples that she needs and everything. I'm like, yeah, she's in a skirt and everything, but like she needs some knee pads under that skirt. And
Yeah.
so I'm going
I
to talk
agree.
to Liam about that because Court took some photos of me. Krios took some photos of me uh, during space dive. We had gone across the street. There's like a little kind of wooded empty lot, and like taking a few photos. And I was like, yeah, if she's kneeling down all the time, I think the girl
Yeah.
needs some knee pads
It
and shin
makes sense
guards.
for the character, right? Yeah.
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 So that's like, it's always hard to have a character be done, but I would like to submit her to Rogues of Mandalore. But I was like, yeah,
Nice.
she needs that before I do that.
Yeah.
So I have to
You
talk to Liam
gotta
about
come
painting. I
join us.
know, right?
Yeah.
Like she's gotta be. I feel like totally like I'm not usually into like getting approved, except I am approved in Burgundy Squadron. I need to go back and work on my Burgundy Squadron look too. I think to like get a little streamlined.
Yeah,
This is like my
I think we
character
need to
look.
have a chat. I think
I think so. Yeah, I think she
because
needs a signature look because I never had a signature look.
right,
So
right,
I
right,
think
right.
I need to make something up for that and like
Yeah, and it could
submit
be
that.
look, I I think that very early group, I think you and I
Hmm.
are similar in that our characters have a signature look and
Hmm.
then kind of just blend.
So many looks. Yeah, which
Because
was the
my
purpose
character's
of the look. Yeah, or of the
yeah, my
character.
character's a bullseye like
Yeah.
spy. Like I
Yeah.
am a spy. I'm not a smuggler. I'm not a,
Yep.
anything. I don't have a courier service. I'm
Yes.
not a rebel. Like my
Mine
character
too.
is a spy,
Yes. Yeah, and that's her whole thing
So
is like she's supposed to be dropped in wherever she can be.
exactly.
And that's why I'm supposed to be such a chameleon. But
Right.
I was like, oh, but like what designates it between her and one of my other characters, because it's the
Yeah.
same face. So yeah,
Right.
that's why I'd like to
Right.
go for something that I'm like, that's her look. So
Right.
those are the things I
I
decided.
have a favorite, but I don't
Oh, okay.
know. I don't even know
Okay.
if you have the stuff
Oh, I
anymore.
hope I know because I've got her. Yeah. I know. What is it?
It's that I do believe it's what is at the Burgundy Squadron Instagram. Which
Okay.
so at that
I'll take a
time,
look.
when I
Yeah.
was doing like we're doing this, this is a
Yep.
costume club,
Hmm.
like this was still before Lucasfilm and all that stuff,
Yeah.
but we were like we're doing it, with the launching the Insta, but we're a group, right?
Yeah.
We're a club, or hopefully, right?
Yeah.
And there was just a hope and a prayer at that point. Um, and we did sort of do like okay, so what is your
We
present? And
did.
it's a sort of gray pants. It is a very dark, almost plum burgundy top.
Okay.
Well, let me pull it up.
Oh
Let me
yeah.
pull it up and I'll just show the
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
camera. And I was
Yeah.
like, because
We
it
should look.
felt to me it actually felt to me very, very Vel and Cinta. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is a
Yeah.
spy.
Totally.
Gotta scroll. And that's what we have. But
Yeah.
I think since then, I'm sure that Dre contacted you about this is Dre in Motion at
Yep. Hmm. Hmm.
and because he was doing what eventually became our roster, our official roster
Yes,
at the
that's
website,
right. Oh, I
right?
remember.
And
Yes.
so he must have asked you
Yep.
who
Which look?
is she, and you gave him your calf
Oh,
person.
I did. I did
So
because
that's
it
why I
was
was like, who is that?
Yeah, and the funny thing I'm wondering about even making that calf stand character be its own character. That
Yeah,
like Kate Ryder was like dressing as her. Like the
that could be.
like the twins, oh shoot, why am I blanking on their name? That's it. They're in the cantina, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
In the cantina and the original. And then the whole story about them is that the two that are in the cantina that day when Luke Skywalker is in there aren't actually those women. There are two different characters undercover, and there's a book. There is,
Really?
yeah. So it's like, oh shoot, their last
Is
names
it a
are
Legends book?
T. No, I think it's a more
Okay.
recent book. I know,
Okay.
and I read it, and now I can't remember which one it is. Anyway, but that was one extra layer of like, oh yes, okay,
This
oh
is who
man,
you submitted as Kate Ryder, which
oh my
I
god,
feel feels
yes.
very
It does. So I'll have to get
well,
some new
actually.
pants. Those ones don't fit me anymore. You
Okay.
just get rid of them. I know. I'll have to get some new pants. But you're right. Like that's very. I think it was. It's that jacket. It's that
Hmm.
like I'm kind of on an adventure.
It's
Like
sort of
look.
it's sleek, but still enough
Yep.
to like
Yep.
get in some scrapes, you know.
Totally. Totally. And it blends
But
with a lot of people's background.
totally, you know,
Yes. Okay.
it's up to you. We can
No,
you
I think
could
that's
completely
great.
revamp it, and
Yeah.
I think because your character has always been a spy, like,
Yeah.
you know, this is an opportunity. But anyway,
Yeah.
we do have a a uh, clerical sort of issue,
Yes.
administrative issue, in that we should pin down who that
Yeah.
is, just so that
Totally.
I'm not like misrepresenting
Yep. Yep.
you, you
Oh,
know? Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I need to get
Because if
my
the
story
calf,
straight in my mind.
if the, and I forget her name,
Yeah.
I'm terribly
Oh,
sorry.
Stay Wandering. Yeah.
Yes, if
Like,
she is not
yeah.
Kate, then we need to get her off the site. Yeah.
Or yeah. Well, and that because that character was supposed to be Kate Ryder in that
Because
cover.
the first photo shoot,
Yeah.
it's with D.
Yes.
It
Yeah,
is
and
Kate Ryder
that
as a
it is
captain.
Kate
Yeah,
Ryder as
yeah.
the capstan. Yeah, and that was our we're going to Batu, but we're both undercover. Like
Hmm.
we want to look very different. And actually, I'm thinking about taking that whole look back to Helsicon in
Yeah,
October again, and just not at the park because we have a different plan for the park
yeah.
this time, but definitely still just like wearing it because I wore it to Space Dive and it was really great. I really had so much fun with that look at
Well,
Space
you let
Dive.
me know if it's a cover. I mean,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
could be a cover
yeah, yeah,
for Kate,
yeah.
or
I've got
you
to
know,
decide.
completely up to you. You know,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
just let me
for
know.
sure. It's one of my favorite looks because I think I've got so
Yeah,
much gear for it now. So maybe I
yeah,
can. Yeah. Anyway, it's so hard to decide sometimes.
yeah,
How do you decide when you're like, this is what I'm wearing for this character? Because you have so many characters as well, but
yeah.
your original character is this spy who can be
Right.
anybody.
Well, I have uh three main looks
Okay. Okay.
for Maddox, and it's they're separated by situation and by time. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
so I have that sort of green shacket look, and that's supposed to be like old man Maddox. That's
Okay.
supposed to be like New Republic era
Okay.
Maddox. So that's why his jacket has a bit of decoration. It's got
Hmm.
like a victory patches
Yeah.
and things like that. He's been in the fight for a while. The Gabbercrete is the like bullseye
Okay.
Maddox, like
Okay.
within, like, you know, recruiting, in and out of like dangerous places, whatever. That is the signature look. And then there is and then there's the Imp Hunter armor, which is
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
between, which is just before he joins Burgundy Squadron.
Okay.
Um, yeah, he was on the
Okay.
run, and yeah.
Gotcha.
So anyway, so those are the three main ones. But then even still, like, you know, Maddox was on Dalna in
Okay.
a poncho and a blue top, like,
Yeah.
because I had to blend in. So,
Yeah.
and if I went to Gorman, I would be dressed
Totally.
as a Gore. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. It's so funny. Like, I mean, the backstories that we're like, I am building this backstory. You know what I mean? And we're like, and there is a whole reason why I'm wearing this. I love it.
yeah.
I love the details. It's hard for me to keep straight in my brain, but I love them. Oh, and so
So yeah,
what kind?
you let me know. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'll be working on that for sure. So anything other than blasters that you're working on right now? or for the center,
Well,
or
I am my
the
ear is
adventure
to the
collection?
ground for the Lena So hospital scrubs.
Yes.
So I have the shoes, and that's the Clea look in
Hmm.
the last arc of
Yeah.
season 2 of Andor. It's just yellow
Mhm.
scrubs. I think push comes to shove, I
Yeah.
could get a set of yellow scrubs and like make changes to them,
Okay. Okay.
appliques and details and whatnot. I could do that,
Okay.
but I'm waiting to see if somebody pops up with like that's
The
making it. Yeah.
set. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Um, but that's what's on my radar at the moment. I don't have like an end date except for definitely have to have it for celebration
So are
2027. So
you
there's
gonna
plenty
come
of
to?
time.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
gotta go.
It's
I have
it's
to.
it's on my list too.
I
Yeah.
hope there's a United States then. Sorry. I hope
Thank
it
you.
exists.
Yeah. Thanks for that
But
help.
if it
We
does,
appreciate it.
if it does exist, then
Yeah.
yeah, I think I will go if it's in a state
Yeah.
where it is goable.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. No. I'm here. I'm in it.
Scary.
I'm making my protest sign tomorrow. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Um. Woo. Good times. Good times.
Good times. Good
Good
times. But
times.
other than that, in the background, I'm finishing up the hat for my merchant, and then I
Okay.
will
Great.
officially submit that to Burgundy
Nice.
Squadron.
Nice. Oh
And
yeah.
then my Rhodian
Oh
partisan
yes. Oh my gosh.
is in the works. I'm
Nice.
just about there, but I
Okay.
definitely want to weather everything up
Okay.
before I submit. And
Yeah.
yes, like I do feel like I should submit it. Like I
Oh,
don't
I think you
like
should. Yeah.
no, not that like oh no, it should exist outside of it. Like I definitely want it to be
Yeah.
in the squadron, but like
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna like put myself in. Like
Yeah.
I feel like
Mhm.
I'm at a
Oh
point,
yeah.
and I feel like we're at a point, and there's an app team and everything
Yeah.
now. Like they should have a look, and they should,
Really, I love that, and
yeah. I
I
don't
would
want to
love to
just
see
like
that
I'm
process.
in. Like
Oh, yeah. No, no, I love that there is that process now for sure.
yeah.
Which reminds me, I wanna put together a baker because your merchant, um,
Yeah, you can have
they
multiple characters. You can
yeah,
have multiple numbers, multiple characters.
yep,
So
yep,
bring them on
totally.
in. Like
That's what I
there's
want a
yeah,
baker that's purely like like passes information. That's
yeah,
purely what they do. It's like kind of a
yeah.
safe house, kind of
Yes,
a, like a
yes,
yeah, and so I'm actually thinking up a kind of a photo shoot with it in my head. But I'm always thinking of like ways to make myself look more different than what I look, right? And I was like,
yeah,
because I found a great basket hat, right? Like
right.
I've gone through months of scouring baskets, and I found that one for Stay or Wandering, um, which I was supposed to be for my Twilight, but it won't fit over my Lecco because the Lecco are so
Oh,
big.
right, right, right.
But I was like, that's fine. I'm throwing it on with this basket
Yeah.
backpack, and it worked really well. And I was like,
Can you not
yes.
like? Well, you'd have to sort of make holes in the hat.
Yeah,
Can you
I would
not
have
put
to,
the
and
screw?
then the reeds being so sharp, I don't want them to slice into the
Oh,
Lego.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no.
because
That's
I
a bad
thought about
idea.
that. I was like, I could
Yeah,
just poke them through. I was like, nope, nope.
that's a
I'm
bad
just gonna
idea.
make
You're
some
right.
sort of a fabric like
Yeah,
hat for the Lego. But
yeah,
but I think it worked really well for that quirky little calf stand. Like
yeah,
it made her look really weird. So there's this other hat that I found, but it's very tall. And it kind of like fits down over my head a little bit. I was like, okay,
yeah.
so it might make me look a little bit different than what I do look, because I'm always trying
Right.
to be like, how do you change
No, that's
your
a that's
face?
a that's a that's a good point because like I think well, hopefully by the end of the year both of those characters will be in.
Mhm.
Um um Somebody asked me and they're like, "Oh, do you do you still have to submit?" And
Yeah,
yeah, of course I do.
yeah,
I mean, I guess I don't have to, but like I
yeah,
mean
yeah,
I should, right?
right.
I feel like I should. And they were like, "Oh, they asked me, "Do you still have to submit and is it to the same like is it to the same degree? Is it to the same standards?" And I'm like, "I think it's more. I think it's
Yeah.
like I think
Well,
it's
you
the founder
yourself
coming in
are
with a new
probably holding
character. Like
yourself. Yep,
I have to
totally.
bring it. I can't just be like,
Y-
here's a vest.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
here's a
yeah.
new vest. Like I have to like look at this, like
There
look at this like major thing I've done.
yes.
Like and
There is
yeah,
that we're holding ourselves to even, and
yeah.
hopefully our
I
friends are
feel a
holding us
responsibility to
to.
that I've got to kind of
Yeah.
really step it up.
Yeah.
But with those two characters, one is a Rhodian, so you don't see my
Yep.
face, and the
Yeah.
other one, literally, you can't see my face because it
Mhm.
has. I don't know if you saw that I added the sort of mesh veil to the
Yes,
front of the
I did,
hat,
and I love that.
and there is a you know, you might know of these. You know those, you know those at sporting events, those like all green like outfits that sometimes some fans wear, where it's complete.
Yeah.
Someone is completely covered, right?
It's like a green suit, right? Yeah.
Yes, but it's
Yeah.
not a green suit. I
Yeah.
just have the head part and it's all
Oh,
black,
oh my
right? You
gosh,
could
okay.
see through it.
Yeah.
But it's all black. It's fabric that you could
Yep.
see through,
Mhm.
right? And I have that, so there'll be that veil,
Okay.
and there'll be which is sort of low,
Yeah.
and also we'll have that. So I will not be a sort of like my face isn't really
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing for that character at all.
That's brilliant. Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah. Because 'cause I'm always trying to be like, "Well, maybe if I tuck my hair up or have a hat that comes down, you can't see my hair," or like, yeah, how do you change who you
yeah. How do you
are?
change? Yeah.
Yeah, mhm.
The only other thing that I'm thinking is that, like, if I wanted to do, because I want to submit those by the end of, I want to submit those by the end of summer. I'm gonna put
Okay.
that out there in
Okay,
the universe.
yeah, good goals, yeah.
Um, and if I were to submit another one, I think it would have to be some sort of helmeted,
Yeah, okay.
you know, just to
Yep.
keep the only face character being
Mhm.
Maddox. Yeah, because
Yeah,
like you can't
totally.
really sell the
Yeah.
same face, right? I don't
Yeah,
know.
right, and that's why it was, like, it was easy for me to jump in and be a Twilight character, who my Twilight character, I don't think she'll ever be Burgundy Squadron. I don't think
Hmm.
that's her thing, even though
Hmm.
Dee took my photos with some Burgundy Squadron members, but whatever.
That's fine.
But, like, I don't think it's part of her story, and my Mando is the same way. I don't think
No.
that's ever, but it is so nice to be like, "Okay, you threw on some
Yeah.
Leku, this is a different character. You threw on a
Yes.
helmet." I don't wear my helmet all the time, but still, she feels very much like a different character
Yeah.
to me. And so,
Oh, yeah,
so I
I
was
guess
like,
that's
"How
a
do I like?"
thing. My Mando is my face, but
Yeah.
obviously, like, my Mando's more tied to a helmet, so
Mhm, mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I'm
what.
working on a second kit as well
Ooh.
for my
Oh my gosh,
Rogues.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
membership.
Sweet. You
Well,
got a
it'll
little
be my
stuff going for
second
them.
kit for Rogues, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice. As a different Mando or as the same, like, "This is
It's
fun."
addicting,
Like
yeah,